Mav's Coffee Clarity with Denise is brought to you in partnership with Drive Media and Consulting and their premier sponsors. Subscribe on your favorite streaming platforms and share. If you just found us, welcome. And if you're a regular, welcome back. Denise DiGrigoli has spent her life in the creative industries as an entrepreneur, helping people transform their visions into thriving businesses, working with individuals and teams to find their purpose and live their life vibrantly. On her pod, Denise delivers business intel and life hacks with wit and wisdom in short shots like a strong espresso with a solid sense of humor. Enjoy this episode of Mav's Coffee Clarity, and here's Mav.
That's right, my friends. You are on Mav's Coffee Clarity with Denise. Every week, we're spilling the beans. We're a show designed to move you forward in work, life, and self-care. And come on, who doesn't need that nowadays, my friends? If you just found me, welcome. You're in the right spot to get some really good rocket fuel to move you forward. And if you're a regular, welcome back. So thankful for you. Most weeks, I interview fabulous people, mavericks in their own right. Why? Because I believe everybody's been a maverick for a minute, a moment, or a lifetime. These are creative people, forward thinkers, knowns to unknowns that share their resiliency, their tenacity, their incredible stories, how they did it, and where they found their silver linings. And when I'm not interviewing someone, it's just me, Mav, in a short shot. And today is one of those days, my friends. We're going to be doing a Mav short shot. I've been thinking a lot about nostalgia. I'm going to talk to you about nostalgia in my life, how I see it play out in business, how I see it play out personal, and how we can use it for good to move ourselves forward. Nostalgia. I'm a very nostalgic person. It's funny. I'm not a hoarder, okay? Friends, I am not a hoarder, but I like to collect things. And I collect things that are really meaningful to me, especially in our new studio up in the Western Mass part of the Berkshires called Sheffield. It's sort of reminiscent of a throwback 1950s place where I've collected cool little things like vintage cookie jars, and it's really, really populated with a lot of color, and it makes me, I don't want to say feel nostalgic, but feel nostalgic. And it was reminiscent of times that I spent with my grandmother in the Berkshires and things the way they were when I grew up. And then I started to dig a little bit deeper into this concept nostalgia. And I found that in the 1600s, a Swiss doctor by the name of Dr. Hofer termed it as a medical diagnosis. Then I started to get nervous, like, oh my gosh, do I have some medical diagnosis? Because I'm a collector of all things that make me feel fun, good, funny, and from days gone by. This was for the soldiers that really were so homesick that they had this thing called nostalgia, sometimes to the point where they actually had to go home. Now, 200 years later, it's not a medical diagnosis, as it is termed something that can illuminate memories and be a source of comfort and also a source of irritation. I want to talk to you about those things today, because if you're nostalgic like me or you get caught down in memory lane, it can really throw you off your track. So this is about using nostalgia for good. I was cleaning out my hard drive. I had a ton of photos, videos, goes back to when Ava, my daughter, was a child, and when we started our business and what it was like, and my father-in-law was alive and helped us out at that time, and just so many things, you know. And we've had so many transitions as a business that I found it hard to delete, right? Even though that was my goal, delete, vet out. Then I got stuck in memory lane. Okay, now I wasn't being productive. And for those of you that follow me, we're about using our time wisely and with a sense of productivity and mindfulness and being purpose-driven. I was in the rabbit hole of just, oh no. And as an entrepreneur, that doesn't always serve me. So I said, okay, what's going on here? I miss something. I miss the times. I miss the people. I miss the laughter. You can get into revisionist history, my friends. You can. You can make it greater than it was or miss it longer and not use it for good. So I've written a book called The Daily Drive, an agenda for your mind, body, spirit, and lifestyle. And I'm not selling that today. But what I'm telling you is that's an active meditation to reflect on things and use them to move forward. And I would also say when I taught seminars around the book at Southern Connecticut State University and corporations, I would tell people, I spent some time in the automotive industry. My grandparents owned a small automotive services company in the Berkshires. So the word drive, purpose driven, all that's important to me. But maverick wisdom is really important because the more that we share our ideas for good that can help people move forward, we spend less time remunerating or not finding solutions. So the daily drive was about reflecting and looking forward. I would say if you look in your rear view mirror too long, you're in a road crash, right? You're looking in the back and you're stuck over in memory lane, and all of a sudden you're not looking at what's in front of you. And for those of you that only follow me on podcast, Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, we do have a YouTube channel now, so you can see me doing all these crazy antics with my arms, pretending I'm looking in the back or the rearview mirror. So forward through the windshield is really important. And I have to remind myself of these things, especially that day I was in the doom scroll. I mean, I was doom scrolling. I was practically in tears. This doesn't really, make sense as as your strategy, business, innovative consultant with maverick wisdom. But hey, we all slide off the rails once in a while. It's how we pull ourselves back on. So I thought, okay, I need to talk to everybody about nostalgia as much as I need to talk to myself, because nostalgia can be found in ads, right? It connects us to a comfort time. You'll see throwback ads. You see the hashtag, Throwback Thursday, TBT. So much nostalgia. You see the retro fonts that are coming out, and the 70s has kind of been spinning around long after the 70s show. So did you know that people will actually spend more on consumer goods when it tracks a bit of their nostalgic comfort? So, brands use it. They use it to tie you back to a time where you might feel things were better, easier, more comforting. And we've seen repetition in advertising. I mean, so much of this is secular, right? And we pull from even fashion, pieces and parts to create what is new today. So I was going to my first ever college alumni weekend. And I went to FIT in the city, spent a great deal of time in the fashion industry early on. And we all know fashion repeats itself. Now, yes, anything goes right now, but you're seeing pieces and parts of yesteryear come through in fashion. But what was nostalgic for me and what I was looking forward to doing is connecting with old colleagues. It was the first time there was ever an alumni weekend. And it was very interesting because you go with a sense of what that nostalgia is going to be. And when you arrive, it's some of that, but something very different. So nostalgia can be the bridge to innovation in something new. So that's the good part of nostalgia. The not so great part of nostalgia is when you get stuck in the mud and you're in the doom scroll and you never come out. Or you take your sweet time coming out and you miss other opportunities. As I was preparing, thinking about this and how I would, wrap it all together, look at how many storage units there are from coast to coast. And I'm talking huge retail pieces of property, skyscraper in height, that store our crap. I'm calling it the crap, right? Because I personally have had storage units over the years at between $50 and $150 a month. And guess what? I put all that stuff in there because I'm going to use it again, right? I'm going to use it again. And it's memories and it's childhood mementos and it's furniture and it's art and it's business documents. And guess what? 90% of the time, when I finally get rid of the storage unit, I throw half the stuff out. Okay, yeah, I reupholstered a couch. I use that. I love it. I try to enjoy it in my new home and not have sentimental value attached to it. So storage units, think about it. Storage. Doesn't that go to baggage? Then you have all this baggage. And we all know, we've heard it time and time again, you can't move forward until you release your emotional baggage. Is nostalgia emotional baggage? Again, depends on how you use it. So I was thinking, that's a $44 billion industry. There's over 50,000 of these places nationwide. And the stat on it is over 11% of American households put their stuff in storage. Yes, businesses do, and yes, military personnel are a big part of the other side of the equation. I thought, what are we storing? So nostalgia, what are we holding on to? Is it meaningful? And what can we let go? Leave that behind. It's in the rearview mirror. We don't need it. It's not giving us information for the future through our wonderful windshield and where we're going. And where can we tie it together to create comfort for ourselves in whatever we're doing in our personal or business life? As a business consultant, nostalgia can inform. What if you have people on your team that are very nostalgic and they're stuck in the mud and they don't want to change what they've done for years because that's what always, quote unquote, worked? And you have a multi-generational workforce right now where we have people coming out of college way up past Mav's age, okay? Our presidential candidates are way past what would be considered even traditional working age. And some of the greatest pioneers in health are living well into their hundreds. So we have a multi-generational workforce. Isn't everybody's opinion, their maverick wisdom, worth a little something? But what happens when it gets too nostalgic, my friends? Ooh, it can be a block. So I started thinking, nostalgia. I love my little second location in the Berkshires. It's got cool things that remind me of yesteryear, that motivate me to move forward. So if you are liking this episode or of Mav's Coffee Clarity with Denise, please like and share, whether you're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Sound, wherever you are, and go to DeniseDiGrigoli.com, learn more about my consulting services, and sign up in the contact form for our monthly brew. We bring you some special extra tips, ideas to move forward, some special offers. And no, we don't spam, we don't sell, none of that stuff. We just want to be in touch with you because we do have some VIP events coming up. Back to nostalgia, as I'm going to close it up here, my friends, in a short shot. What are you nostalgic about? I'd love to hear. You can either email me or follow me on social, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok. We don't really do too much of Facebook. We're trying to really hone in our message so we're not all things to everybody. What are you nostalgic about, and how does it help you? Where does it hinder you? And can you see the value of brands tying it together mindfully with purpose to bring a company forward? And can you also see the hindrance of when too many people on your team are stuck in their nostalgic, ooh, what about yesterday? And I want to do it like I've always done it. And that's what's always worked. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. My advice would be, in a multi-generational workforce, we need to be open-minded. We need to share our maverick wisdom, and we need to create more maverick wisdom, because the memories and the things we are doing today are creating the gems of tomorrow. In other words, we're creating memories right now. And so the nostalgic is actually starting here today. Each day is an opportunity to make a new memory. So wherever you are in your path of nostalgia and how you're using it, use it for good, my friends. And when you get into that rabbit hole like Mav did the other day, just the doom scroll and living too far in yesterday and creating revisionist history, snap yourself out of it and share one of your maverick wisdoms with someone next to you. We can only move forward by helping others. My grandmother used to say, teach a person how to fish. He or she or they will live for a lifetime. Just feed them a fish. Well, guess what? That's a one-off. Mav's Coffee Clarity is brought to you by Drive Media and Consulting. We are so thankful for you joining us today. Find us wherever you listen to your favorite pods and on YouTube. Peace out, my friends. Mav has got to get back to work. Hey, that's a wrap for today, my friends. Thanks for listening, subscribing, and staying connected with me. Head on over to DeniseDiGrigoli.com and learn a little bit more about my creative and strategic consulting services. While you're there, drop your name on the contact page. Sign up for my bi-weekly brew. It's fresh ideas delivered to your inbox a couple times a month for clarity, creativity, and better communication. It's based on my 3 decades as an entrepreneur, helping other people and businesses move forward. It's great business intel and life hacks that you can use for work, life, and self-care. And come on, who doesn't need that nowadays? Have a great rest of your day. Peace out, my friends. Mav has got to get back to work.